two different epic prime rib recipes for you. We're gonna be comparing two of my favorite, Chef Jean Pierre.
Well, hello there, friends.
Yes, that guy, he is fantastic. I love watching him. And another one of my favorites, Chef Billy Parisi's
smoked prime rib is next level.
This is an exciting one. We're gonna be cooking Chef Jean Pierre's in the oven, and we're going to be cooking Chef Billy Parisi's on the Halo Prime 1500 smoker. But we're gonna find out which one I like the most. This is going to be a very tough decision for me, but let's see what happens. Now, both of these ribeyes are 2-bone. So they're both choice. This one is a little bit more on the marbly side, which maybe gives it a leg up, but this one I also had frozen for a couple weeks before. So this one may have a little bit of a handicap, but I think the extra marbling maybe makes up for that. And the larger one will be Chef Billy Parisi's recipe. And this smaller guy, more marbled guy, will be Chef Jean Pierre's. The only thing that I'm going to do the same on these, besides salt and pepper, I'm going to rub them down with some Wagyu beef tallow. Not a sponsor, I just picked this up because I ran out of my own and I haven't had time to make my own yet. So I picked this up just for this video.
I like to brush a little bit of clarified butter. If you don't have clarified butter, then brush a little bit of avocado oil, just a little bit. Sprinkle a little bit of herb de Provence, and that'll make the herb de Provence stay nice and not dry out so much. Herb de Provence, you see, I have them, because remember, I'm from Provence. I got my oven set at 250 degrees, friends. 250. We want to cook it to 120. Remember, I like my meat rare to medium rare to rare. We're going to take it out of the oven when it's 120 degrees. And we're gonna let it rest 45 minutes to an hour. And then we'll put it in the oven a good 10 minutes at 500 degrees to create a beautiful crust, and I'll show you how to do that.
We want to trim off some of the fat on top, but obviously leave some of it because there's so much flavor there. So be very delicate and gentle. Some of it may just pull up with your fingers, just like this. That makes it really easy to trim underneath and cut away. We're gonna add on about 2 tablespoons of olive oil to the top. You could use any neutral flavored oil or even beef tallow would be great here. This is a huge piece of meat, so we are gonna season it heavily on all sides. Same sort of deal, season it on every single end and side. We're also gonna pat it in. This is looking perfect. Remember, beef loves salt and pepper. We have to start off by making that herb garlic crust. So I'm looking for 3 tablespoons total of finely minced fresh thyme. I would like 3 tablespoons total of fresh rosemary. And then last but not least, I've got some fresh flat leaf Italian parsley. Looking for 3 tablespoons total. I've got some garlic. I'm going to grate it on a fine zester or grater or a microplane if you have one. I'm looking to get about 15 cloves finely grated. Add in some good extra virgin olive oil, probably about a 1/4 cup. Now the consistency we're looking for here is probably that of like a chimichurri sauce. To set aside maybe like 1/3 of it in a separate bowl. Add just a hint of red wine vinegar to this. I'm going to preheat my smoker in between 225 and 235 degrees Fahrenheit. Get some long butcher's twine. We're just gonna come up under one side of our prime rib roast. I'm gonna tie a double knot really quick just to get it in place to hold it so that I can tie the next knot. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come over about 1 inch to 1.5 inches right here. Put your finger down and then wrap the long part of the butcher's twine underneath, and then just run it underneath the loop like that. And then just pull it taut so that it is nice and tight. This is perfect. We do this all the way down until the end. Then I flip it over and I like to go underneath every other twine that I wrapped it with. Go all the way to the end. There'll still be a good amount of butcher's twine from that initial knot. Then I just tie a double knot and cut off any excess. Add on that delicious garlic and herb blend. Generously rub this all over on the sides, and don't forget to flip it over and do the bottom part. I'm gonna put it on the top rack. Doesn't matter if you put it on the bottom rack, whatever you wanna do. I'm putting it on the top rack though for a reason. I'm going to put a disposable pan underneath to catch all the drippings, trying to take it to 100 degrees Fahrenheit internally.
May I suggest a nice glass of really bold Italian red wine to go with this dinner? Okay, 2 epic rib roasts. Now I followed these recipes to a T, did every single thing. Chef Billy Parisi's roast, you smoke until 100 degrees internal, and then you crank the temperature to 500 degrees to sear it off and finish it and pull it 120 internal. Chef Jean Pierre's, you roast at 250 until an internal temperature of 120, and then you pull it and let it rest for 30 to 60 minutes. Since mine's so much smaller, I went about 25 minutes of rest, and I cranked the oven to 500, tossed it back in to do the recommended sear just like he did. I let the Parisi roast, yeah, we'll just call it Parisi roast and the Pierre roast, right? So the Parisi roast, I let rest for, it's gotta be 45 minutes, almost 60 minutes now. And this one has been going 20 minutes since I pulled it out of the oven at 500. So both of these should be very well rested. We're gonna go ahead and cut off the bones. Got the third of our leftover little chimichurri style rub. We're just gonna rub that on the remainder here. And now let's cut off the bones. This is so tender. There we are. If you can see what I see already. Oh my, it's so tender. Cheers to both of the chefs. These are incredible. At first sight, I will say that the Parisi roast has a bit more crust to it, but it's minimal. It's very minimal. Oh my God, it's so juicy. I should just get napkins. Can you see what I see? Because, oh my, that is perfection, folks. Bring in close. Gorgeous, gorgeous, so tender. All right, and now the Pierre roast. Oh, and Chef Pierre's recipe also, you rubbed it in butter before the final sear as well. Absolutely perfect, folks. Magnificent, just magnificent. Just magnificent. Let's take a bite. We're gonna go for the Parisi roast first. Let me just show you the bite that I'm about to partake in. Cheers. Oh, wow. You serve that to your family or to your loved ones, you might get extra presents this year. Woo. How does that go with this wine? Oh, let me show you the bite I'm about to take of this one. Now this is the Pierre roast. Make it cry. Oh my God. Oh man. I know some of you probably wanted a clear winner here, but these are perfect. From top to bottom, perfect prime rib roast. Oh my God. The herb de Provence provides an entirely different experience than the herb chimichurri style rub that goes on the outside of the Parisi roast. They are both outrageous. I mean, I gotta get another sip of wine after that one. Wow, I hope you all can experience a roast just like this. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. As always, I appreciate you, and I will see you on the next one.